I removed the sump plug about 2 days ago, and now I'm just going to put a bit of oil in and just flush it out while the plug's off, sorry, and hopefully that will rinse out any muck that's still in there. I don't know, it might do, it's got 2 chances, but I always like to change the oil when we do cylinder heads, because you don't know if it's got water in it. So the next thing is to see if the shops are open, see if I can order some oil up. Alright, so about the camera, we're doing the injection side of it now. I'm putting the copper washers with the raised face towards the engine block rather than the other way. The reason for that is that they've got like a dimple inside there where there's a screw thread, and if you put them that way it's just going to sit in the dimple, so put them that way. I've cleaned up the nozzles, I've put a bit of anti-seize on, and I did mark these with a crayon which way they go, so don't worry about the caps being on wrong. They're a nice fit, look at that, because I had to take the caps off to get them to fit. I'm just showing which way around it goes, like that one. Next one. Next one. And then we fit our retaining washers, our retaining plates. Notice that they're slightly bent. The bent bit goes to the top, like that. That. And that. And then we'll find 4 nuts. Spin them down. Like that. I'll keep on doing them. Then the next thing we're going to do is the injectors. The next thing we're going to do is the glow plugs, and I'm sort of puzzled why I've only got 4 glow plugs in there. 3 glow plugs. I wonder where the other one's gone. Oh, never mind, let's get these bolted down, we'll find them. I've tightened down the glow plugs and tightened down the injectors. The glow plugs were saying 20 Newton meters. That seems an awful lot for a plug. You know, I didn't like that, so I just used my judgment on those. 25 for the injectors, that's not too bad. So the next thing we're going to do is wire up the injectors, and we're slowly running out of parts here, so that's not a big deal. And that's it. There's just little fiddly bits now to do, you know, like put the injector pipes on. I've got a delivery of oil coming engine on, I didn't have enough. Yeah, you know, with this damn bloody virus thing, everybody, it's just like every day is like Sunday. I'm expecting Morrissey to come with a delivery. Dear me, well, carry on. You know, I don't know if some places are open, some places are closed. Anyway, we're nearly there. But like I say, I'll change the filter, tighten up that bolt there, put the breather on. That's easy, it's just a matter of putting the hose clips on and a pipe. You don't really need to know much about that. There's an O-ring that goes in the breather itself, and that's it. So we'll do them jobs, and I'll explain anything that I think's interesting. The O-rings on these breathers are notorious for leaking, but they give the impression that the rocker box is leaking. They are a particularly bad idea. Whether they separate oil, I don't know, but that was the seal that came out. It was pretty bad. All chewed up, and that's the seal. Now pay attention, because they weren't included in the gasket set. So first of all, I'm going to do is fit it to the pipe, if you see what I mean, like that. Tighten it up, and then fit it to the block, because it's easier to get to the clip. Oh, I might as well do it now. Make sure it's all the way down to the bottom. Yep. Tighten it up. This one here, goes onto there. Now, I'm not sure if I'll tighten this up yet because I might have to put the injectors in first. But at least I've got the pipes on here. You know, because it's a funny setup. Yeah, I think I should be able to get into there. Or should I? No, I'll put the spill rail on first, that's it. I'll put the spill rail on first, and then I'll put that on. Now, where is it? Right, it's here. Now, we'll probably have to change all the copper washers in this. God, I wish I put this car the other way around. Make life a lot easier getting in. Yeah. Well, I'll have to make sure they've got some copper washers in there. No. There's no copper washers for the spill rail, so we'll put it in and we'll get some later because I haven't got any. They're really easy to go in. They're 11mm, I do believe, so I'll tighten those spill rails up and then we'll come back. When you're working on vehicles, engines and things like this, you always try and do like two things at once, because whilst I'm fitting these injector pipes, which is my next job, I'm going to fill this filter 3/4 full with oil. Why 3/4? Why not to the top? Because if you have to tip it, you'll drop oil out. And then I can slowly be filling the engine. Oh God, I can't say anything today. Slowly you can be filling the engine up with oil, ready for it to run. Now, I was looking around this, and I'm very tempted to chuck on a fuel filter as well, because I don't know when it was changed last. So I might as well do it, and then all the filters will be changed at the same time. When you change your fuel filter, the other one there was hardly anything in it. I'm just wondering if there's a problem with the lift pump as well, or there's air in the system. Anyway, good idea to do when you're filling up your fuel filter. Get some ATF, fill it up. It'll do two things. It'll prime the filter so you're not pumping. But the ATF is also good for your fuel system. It's got oil in it, and it burns just like diesel. But don't be tempted to put all the ATF in your system. The filters do take a little time to fill up. But like I say, it gives them a jump start. What we'll do is we'll get the pipes on in a minute, and then we'll crank it over just to see if it fires up, and then we're going to drop off the rest of the coolant that's trapped in the radiator, hopefully get this outside a little bit, just open the doors a bit, and you know, we're going to drain the radiator into a bucket or a container, and the rest of it we're going to flush the cooling system through thoroughly to make sure that everything is out of this system. God, all these things you've got to look forward to, eh? You see how long it takes, eh? It's not a fast job. Because it soaks through the paper. You know, one of these days I'm going to cut some of these filters up and show you what's inside them. Hey, that would be a lot of fun, wouldn't it? You'd be surprised. Because the fuel enters by the outside holes and comes up through this hole. So it has to be forced through the papers, but you can't see this in here where I can, but you can see where the pleats and the folds are in the paper. Well, if you've got any dirt and debris in your tank, it just sits on top of the filter. It hasn't got a hope in hell's chance of going down to the bottom down here. You see? Oh, I'll never get down there. Just blocks up the filters. And that's why veg oil isn't particularly good, you know, like straight vegetable oil. Because here, when it's cold, it'll block that filter solid. If it's about -2 or -3, it'll just be solid. A good tip if you want to use vegetable oil in your car, leave some on your windowsill outside in a jam jar. and watch it when it goes solid at the temperature, because you certainly don't want that in your car. We're getting there. It shows you how much I've put in it, eh? Yeah, let's put this on, let's screw it on. Marvin's not here today to help me, so he can't get it on. Now, one little thing is to make sure that there isn't a washer already under the fuel filter. Seen that happen before. Can't get them to stop leaking and there's already another washer on it. Now these only need to be nipped up hand tight because there isn't that much pressure on them, but then again you don't want them to fall off, do you? Right, I'm going to dip my oil and then bring out the injector pipes. So you've completely missed that because I was chatting to myself. Bloody camera fell over because they had a bloody airline on it. Anyway, what we do is we fit number 1 and 2 cylinder first, because you can get to the injected pipe nuts really easy, you know, instead of struggling, because that's what a lot of people do, put pipes on then try and tie them up. Now just do number 1 and 2 like in reverse order you took them off. So you take 3 and 4 off first and then these, and then you find life's a lot easier. Let me go and get a spanner, we'll tighten that up.